going on, everybody, and welcome back to the A Show with the Kings, a pro wrestling podcast. I am Justin here with Meelz. Meelz, what is good?
Ooh, let me tell you what is good. A couple things are good. Most things are still bad, but there are a couple things that are good.
Lots of things are bad.
Lots of things are bad. I want to give a shout out before we do anything. I want to give a shout out to my doctor. It's not actually my doctor. It's a doctor I went to. But I still want to give a shout out to them. For the past since like April, right? So I'm above 30 now. So I feel like I'm experiencing the beginning of old man ailments.
Okay, let me stop you right there before you even start. 30 is not old.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm not saying 30 is old. I'm saying I'm beginning the process of realizing my body ain't what it used to be, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Can I say that?
Yeah, I mean your metabolism starts to slow down a bit.
Absolutely.
Doesn't mean that,
Absolutely.
but your metabolism is also pretty slow when you're younger too.
But do you make sounds when you get up and you sit down?
I just said your metabolism.
I'm just saying. I'm not calling you old, bro.
I'm just saying it's not old.
I'm just saying. You know what? I'm here with you. It's not old, but I'm experiencing the effects of age. Can I say that?
There you go. Yeah.
So, I've been on my running thing for quite some time. It's my new favorite thing to do. Clears my head, get to see nature, all this other stuff. So, my heel bone has been in pain for a while, since the beginning of April. I went to see a doctor for it. This nigga took my phone and was like, "How much steps are you getting in per day?" And he was like, let me see your health app." Looks at my health app and was like, "Oh, you dipped off here during December." I was like, "Yeah, nigga, it's fucking freezing. Why would I go outside and run in the fucking winter?" Um, and I was like, "Oh, you improved here, so yeah, you're walking again." He was like, "Yeah, so it might be a case of like you getting back there too early, and then there are also like you also may weigh too much." And I was like, "Oh, okay, all right, sure."
I
They love to tell.
always knew you were fat.
Listen, they love to tell black people that they obese. They love telling them. They love it. It's like you could lose a couple more pounds. I'm like, yes, nigga, I know, but we got bigger things going on. If you think I would if I could, I can't right now.
Okay. I'm not him, okay?
Okay. So I'm like, all right, fine. But I also feel like this isn't a disease. This isn't an injury that's like exclusive to like being overweight. Like I feel like even if you weren't overweight, if you were running really, really hard, you would also get this too. So nonetheless, I went to another doctor, a black lady doctor.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Dr. Wright. Got me right. She looked at me, she examined me, she says, "Oh, listen, all you gotta do is do these stretches. Just do these stretches and you'll be fine." I kid you not. I've been doing these stretches for 2 weeks, and my heel has never felt better.
Better than DDP yoga.
I've been doing these stretches, and it's just so. She was like, "Oh, you're like tight around the like your your Achilles is like it's tight." Like she felt around it because she's a what's the podiatrist? Is that what feet doctors are?
Yes, podiatrist.
Okay, so she's a podiatrist. She was like, "Yeah, you're kind of tight around here. Like you should like stretch that out and everything." And I was like, "You know what? I didn't even know like how I was supposed to know I was tight around there." Um, so we did it. I've been stretching. I feel great. So I just want to give a shout out to her because this is a massive improvement in my life because I had been running less because of my ankle thing. And I need to like be out and run and walk because that thing helps like alleviate my anxiety and my stress and everything that's been going on with me for the past number of months. So I want to give a shout out to her.
This was more than a shout out. That deserves this because she needs to go ahead and
Oh,
just uh give you a discount.
she absolutely does need to. She needed to slash that Kobe girl. Um, Nonetheless, the second thing I want to give, where I want to pretty much, shed light on, and we'll shed more light on this as we talk about this later this week.
Yeah.
The Black Pod Connect.
Yeah. This week.
It's this week.
It snuck up on me.
Did it? I
Yeah.
was trying not to have it sneak up on you.
Snuck up.
I was
I say, yeah, next week. Then I said, wait a minute, Juneteenth is I said, oh yeah, it is. It's Thursday. It's fine. I'll be there.
we've thank you. We've we've complained long enough about not being included in spaces and stuff like that. Stuff that we should be.
We created our fucking own. I'm not even gonna make this dramatic. We made our own.
We made our own, bro. We made our own. Listen, the big three is what I like to call a black wrestling podcast. The big three.
Mm-hmm.
The A Show.
Listen, before we even go any further than that, we need to give a shout out to you, Meelz, for putting this all together. And this was something that was very near and dear to your heart, and something that you really wanted to do, and something that, like, I felt as though you shepherded it in a big way and made it happen. And you like literally made this happen. And you told me about this, and I was like, okay, go ahead, do it, bro. And next thing I know, I'm seeing all the work being done. So before we even start on this, like, Meelz, you really helped bring everything together and served as the glue for this whole thing. So shout out to you.
I appreciate it. I've had massive anxiety. I never look forward to things. I only get anxious about things. So the Black Pod Connect, Black Announce Table, Black Wrestling, and the A Show will come together. First time only. May not be the last time, but it'll definitely be the first time. So you definitely want to be there this Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Black Wrestling YouTube channel, because they the one who live every Thursday.
Mm-hmm. What are we talking about?
We're gonna talk about a lot of different things. But first of all, one thing important that we're gonna talk about is this fundraiser that we have. All of this is a part of, because I never wanted to do something like this without giving back. And I think, it being Juneteenth, it's a great time to look at what we can do. And then also, I also personally feel like not enough people with the platform that we have, or the platform that anybody has, does enough to give back as much as I don't want to necessarily say take.
They take. Yeah, they take. They take. Let's be honest. Like, people will say they are part of the culture. They do this, they do that, and they literally just make a Twitter Spaces. And we're gonna talk about Twitter Spaces in a minute here. But we literally, I'm like, I got on the microphone so annoyed this morning. So, like, I'm just really like, I don't give a shit. But I'm not annoyed at doing the show. Let's be clear. I love doing the show. But let's
Right.
be honest. Like, I'm jacked. What does he say? What does Michael Cole say? I'm jacked.
I hope he stops saying that.
But like, it's true. Like, people will say they do this, and they will hold other people accountable for something that they don't necessarily do. And I think that
Ooh,
it's time
big talk.
to stop saying this company should do more of this. This company should do more of this. It starts with the community. The community should begin this, and that's where it stays.
So I've been inspired over the last number of months with everything happening with Victor. Shout out to Victor Perry, who is a teacher at KIPP Academy High School in Brooklyn, which is another thing that's near and dear to my heart, because I live less than a mile away from that school. And I know what's in the neighborhood of that school. That school is, I don't want to judge too much thing, but it's like right next to the projects. I've been told as a kid, do not go around there, do not go up there, do not stay around there. It is not a great neighborhood. But these children persevering nonetheless, and a great, educator and a teacher like Victor, has, initiated this wrestling club where they watch wrestling, and you've seen it. It's gone viral. Wrestlers have responded. Everybody kind of has responded. Sasha Banks herself went down to the school a number of months ago and made her presence known, and made her presence felt, and inspired a lot of great people. I've been inspired by that for months. I want to see these kids, especially if they have any dreams or aspirations of being a professional wrestler, get to see these things up close. When I was a kid, I rarely ever got to go to wrestling events because it was too expensive. It was like a cost that we could never truly afford. Um, because we had bills and food and all the other important stuff. So wrestling events wasn't something that I would go to until I turned like literally like 18 years old, 17 years old.
Mhm.
Um, and these kids who have these aspirations and who believe all these things, I want them to be able to see it up close. And initially, the fund was for let's help them get to Monday Night Raw, but they going to Raw anyway.
Yeah.
We've learned that they going to Raw. Um, so now the dream is the road to WrestleMania for them. We want to get at least some of them to the road to WrestleMania. And trust me, WrestleMania 39, it ain't cheap.
Shit, they ain't on the road. They're gonna be at the bitch. They're gonna be at the damn destination.
They gonna be there. But trust me, they gonna need some stuff to get there. So you know what? Make sure you guys follow the A Show. Make sure you guys follow Black Wrestling. Make sure you guys follow the Black Announce Table. Make sure you guys, follow Wallflower Perry. It was Victor's, Twitter name for all information on this because we opened the GoFundMe and we would like, you know, hit the donate button. Anything that you got, anything that you can afford to. Oop, my water bottle fell. Anything that you can present or just donate to make this dreams come true for all these young black kids who just love professional wrestling just like we love professional wrestling. And shout out to the educators who don't get enough praise, to be honest with you, for creating for putting for further, damn, I don't want to use the word fertilize, but planting the seeds for the greatness of the future. So shout out to that. I would love if everybody, we're gonna put this in our, in the description. We're gonna put this on our Patreon. We're gonna put this on our Twitters. We're gonna put this kind of everywhere. Please donate if you can. It's Juneteenth. Let's do this to support our people. Let's do this to support Black Wrestling Podcast. We will see you guys on Thursday when we do all the crazy stuff and kind of have a great conversation and just have a great celebration of us, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Just remember that you were these kids one time at one point. Just remember that
Absolutely.
you you
Absolutely.
you were these kids at one point. So think about again. It's all about passing it down. It's all about passing it forward, rather.
And
And
paying it forward, literally.
yeah, I mean, the money to me, like the money is just an object to get them there. The experience is the most important part. Like I don't want to um I don't I hate to make money the only thing, but more often in our society, it is the only thing. But I think
Mhm.
when you donate, you should think about the fact that you're going to make these kids years, and they're always going to remember this, and they're going to go on to do something positive for themselves and others from this experience. So think of it that way. If you can give 5, if you can give 10, whatever you can give helps. I know people who give at least 10 to 15, whatever, out of every one of their paychecks. You know what I mean? That helps. And of course we'll be doing what we got to do too. You know what I'm saying? So, thank you guys for if you've done it already. Thank you so much for that. And if you're going to do it, thank you so much for that as well. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Um, with that said, should we get to Patreon?
No, no. Before we get to Patreon, because
Mm.
we got a
Before.
question. We got a question on Patreon. There was something that, and I'm saying names today.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm saying
Oh,
names.
you're in a mood.
I'm saying names today because niggas won't understand unless we say names, right? So here's my thing. A couple of months ago, let's start with a list that came out, right? It says, I've had a burning desire to talk about
Oh,
this.
oh God.
Really had a really burning desire to talk about this. And I think that like our friend Dom had an issue with a certain list, and the list had a wrestler on there at number 1, AJ Gray, who we were like, who the fuck? What?
Not
Never.
number one. I looked at it. It was number 3, but
Number
still,
3.
damn
Don't
high.
matter. Above a lot of niggas. Might as well be number 1 in my heart because at the same time, I didn't know half of the niggas on the list. But at the same time, they were like, well, you know, that's our guy. The issue about that's our guy, the issue with, befriending and deifying these people who are normal people, they will act like normal people act and do stupid things that normal people will do. I saw an allegation about this guy, AJ Gray, that is, a couple of months ago, and it was swept under the rug. There was another allegation with screenshots that came out early this week about this AJ Gray, everyone's guy, my guy, Meelz. That's the issue with my guy, right? He's not my
Absolutely.
guy. Not my guy. I never met him. I don't know what he does after the lights go off when he goes home. I never grew up with this guy. He's not my guy. I can't call his character into question because he's not my guy. There's a 17-year-old teenager that's on Twitter. What's the young lady's name? Janelle?
It's called J Shell. I mean, she has me blocked, but her name is J Shell.
Well, she dropped a crazy take one day, and the take was really bad. So like we're not, but the thing is, that's neither here nor there about that and what it pertains to my guy.
Yeah.
She said that she wanted to do an interview with my guy, right? And then he started basically trying to groom her, right? That the case? Is that what's going on? Let me bring this up. Let me bring this up.
I
We
can't
fired
bring it up because she has me blocked.
fired up. This is her truth. This is her truth. Jayshell Nicole, 17. She has 17 in her thing. At the end of December, I intended to build a business relationship with my guy. I'm not calling him AJ Gray. That's my guy. That's everyone's guy, right? I have done this with many other wrestlers. I normally will make first contact by asking to be their friend. I've done this with many other male and female wrestlers. This is not the first time I asked to become friends with a wrestler. At the time, I was posting updates on the college application process and always the fact that I was still in high school. I always kept my age in my bio. This is one of the incidents that led to me putting my age in my Twitter name. My guy ignored all the signs and explicit information to document it and showcase my age. Part of my brand is the fact that I'm 17, so this is incredibly hard for me to believe for me. My guy would go on to hit on me publicly and privately. One of the posts is still up. I was afraid to say anything because of how it possibly could affect my business relationship with him and anyone close to him. He eventually went on to ask me my age. When my guy asked me my age, despite it being publicly displayed all over my page, I sternly stated that I was 17 to reestablish boundaries and affirm our relationship as a strictly business one. Once I told him my age, he began to start terminating the business relationship I thought we were working towards. We were in the early stages of setting up an interview, but once he found out my age, he put a halt to this by purposely pricing himself out of the interview. Yeah? How'd that sound? What'd that sound like to you?
That sounds nasty, nigga. Ew.
We got screenshots. What's your credit score? She says 4. That's your ring finger or something?
Ew. First, all right, time out. I can't take any more of this.
My guy, that's my guy. That's my guy. How old are you?
I haven't seen any of this because I've been blocked. So
Yeah.
you reading this to me is like ill to me.
Yeah, so she said, "How old are you?" He said 17. He says, "I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know you were a person until last week." Says, "You want to do one of the Road to Hammerstein interviews with me? How much for an interview? 100. Number one, little girl, you shouldn't be doing no interviews you got to pay for. All right, that's the number one thing. If it's an interview you
There's
got to,
so much.
don't do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have so much more to say, but yes, absolutely. That is first thing first.
But before we get to that, my guy, listen, they went on to victim blame this young lady. Her takes notwithstanding, her being naive notwithstanding, because that's incredibly naive. But there should have been somebody there. I feel like a lot of people fail her and not
I
really show
agree.
her the way. A lot of
I
people fail
absolutely
her.
agree.
And
I
y'all
absolutely agree.
failed her within this black community that once again excludes. It's a big popularity contest. I get it. But when you misinterpret, misconstrue, and mislead young people at this point, that's a problem. You made a 5-6 hour Twitter space. Is it summer break for niggas with jobs? Over this nigga, man? Are you
Yo,
serious?
that went. I couldn't see it when she was in there because I'm blocked, but that went on for a long time, bro.
This
And
is
there's
crazy.
nothing constructive you can say for 6 hours without going into a circle and someone bringing up some stupid shit. Not on Twitter. No.
My
Can I
brother.
give my couple thoughts on this?
Before we go on about my guy, the issue
Sure.
with my guy is that you guys are blinded, but the same shit that that little girl's blinded by, the sense of belonging. And you can belong. Ain't nothing wrong with belonging in something and believing in something, but stop believing in other people that you don't know, that you ain't grown up with. You don't know any of these people. This guy didn't even know this girl was listen, the I didn't know you were a person is crazy. That's crazy. That's oh shit. I got caught up because I thought I knew what I was doing and I knew what I was doing now.
And you see he ducked out of Twitter like 5 days ago. And then he was
You a,
like, "Oh, I know."
you a nasty man. He's a nasty man. And if you are defending him, that's the issue, man. Look at where we at. Hold these niggas to the fire, bruh. I don't see no outlets talking about this either, Meelz. I don't see no one talking about this. No one's talking about what the concerns this little girl brought up. The fuck? Go ahead, man.
Let me say a couple things real quick. One, this is incredibly nasty, and that nigga should be ashamed of yourself. And everything that Justin said, I echo his thoughts because y'all have failed her. To be honest with you, uh, we have, and maybe this is because sometimes, I really think people just know wrestling, and me and you kind of have been kind of understand a lot more things, and we do have a little bit of a privileged standpoint being men doing journalistic things, and I know women who are journalists or women who have to go through a completely different experience. um but I say y'all have failed her in that instance, especially the women who, what, I don't want to blame women for this. I'm saying society has failed her, knowing that she's 17 and having her in this position. So I speak to J Shell has me blocked. I'm fine with being blocked. I'm 100% fine with it. I offer these words of wisdom to you. One, be 17 and 18 and enjoy your youth without feeling like you need to work towards something or belong to something. When I was 17, I wasn't doing the same things you were doing. And I admire you for the work ethic that you have, but I also feel like you're stunting your own youth in certain ways by trying to be something in this way too, like, before you've even like got the basics down. I would suggest if you want to continue to pursue this in any way, you go to a higher education model and you figure out the ways and steps and you get the mentors and you get the peers and you understand this so they can help you teach all these things, because this could have been absolutely avoidable. And I think if she's been doing this since she was 17, she probably been doing this since she was 16. And I think that is way too young, especially within the wrestling business and even just the journalism business just in general. Um, so I implore you to stay young in these instances. I implore you to also realize that people will not have your best interest in mind. And I've seen so many girls. I mean, at this point, I have two nieces now. And I'm looking at my 13-year-old niece and I'm like, I got my eye on her at the end of the day just because I don't want nothing to bad happen to her, because I've heard so many bad stories happen to women. I've heard so many women's testimonials about their first experience being one that they didn't ask for, or the various, situations of being sexually harassed or any of these things. And I don't want that to happen to anybody, because that makes me feel uncomfortable and that makes me feel mad as fuck when that happens. Because I do feel like society has failed when these men take advantage of women at these certain points and take advantage of these young people at these certain points. So I feel personally disgusted by that. So I I implore you, find people you truly trust. Find people who truly, truly care about your well-being. And if you want to continue to pursue these things, you have to know all the pitfalls that come with this. You have to listen to the stories, have to listen to the testimonials, know how to carry yourself, know when to back off, know when to come on. Never, that $100 shit is a major red flag right there. Anyone in any journalism thing will be like, yo, if you're paying for an interview, you're bugging. Like, I just want the best for you at the end of the day. As a black woman, I know
Mhm.
how hard it, I'm not personally a black woman, but I know it's tough. And then just women in general, but definitely for black women, I know it's incredibly tough. So I want to make sure that you are, you know, in the best way. I say, yo, take a step back. I don't know why all these wrestling publications and bodyslam.net and stuff are hiring you to do all these things. To be honest with you, it's taking advantage of a 17-year-old, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
It's just taking advantage of her by, like, charging her $100 is crazy. I hope no one
Yeah.
else her
And I
$100.
and I understand that she wants to do these interviews and she wants to be part of this process and stuff like that as well. But it's like, yo, I there's a lot of wisdom I still think that's ahead of you, and I think that will come. And it's unfortunate these situations teach you this in a very hard and harsh manner. But I would say it's important to find your tribe and definitely listen to them experiences because you have a ton of older people around you who applaud you for what you do. And again, I see this as a failure with, the larger society for kind of like letting this
And
continue to
and
happen to her.
and and we ain't never speaking about my guy on this show ever again.
Boom.
Fuck that nigga. We going to Patreon now. No holds barred.
Mm. You want me to start or you want you to start?
Go ahead and start. Go ahead and start.
One of the biggest, well, is this biggest? I don't know. Is she popping? I guess she is. Paige officially announced that her last day with the WWE will be July 7th, and they have chosen not to renew her contract. Paige. Do you want me to read her statement?
No. My Paige has been getting paid for years after she was injured or had to basically retire, functionally retire.
Which
Uh,
is how, but you know what? Salute to WWE because that's how it should be done. To be honest with you,
yeah,
if I get a career altering injury towards the end, pay you out. And they did the same thing with draws, and they did the same thing with who else?
a couple other people they did the same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But I think that, in all
Vicky Guerrero when Eddie passed,
yeah, they gave
you
her a
know.
contract. They let her be on TV. Gave her a couple of bags. Uh, I mean, for all intents and purposes, she was able to do a lot more even without being in ring. Saying she got the same deal Daniel Bryan got, where she was able to be a GM and then a manager, and then in the end, uh, you know, she just wasn't she just wasn't going to be able to come back. And she says in her statement that she wants to come back. And I think that the only real thing I have to say about her being released in her statement is that all wrestling promoters, and I'm looking at you, Tony Khan, need to chill the fuck out and do not be too horny
Ooh,
to sign her
ooh,
and
we
put her
gonna
in
talk about that in a couple of minutes.
a do not be too horny, because we said the same thing about another one that we're probably going to go long for more in just a couple seconds here. But Paige was one of the
She's the last diva to me. People say
yeah,
she was the first of the women's revolution. No, she was the last diva.
and
N
she was pushed appropriately. They made a movie about her,
Mhm.
and she was one of the big, they wanted her to be one of the biggest crossover stars for them, and to some
Absolutely, and I think she had potential to be honest with
yeah.
you.
She did. She really did. And to some way, and in some ways, Mills, I feel like she accomplished that in some ways. And she opened the door for everyone else, like a Bianca and a Sasha, to be that. Uh,
Mhm. She was to me, her legacy in WWE, I'm not writing her off because she could definitely be back, but, um, the last diva, kind of the ushering in of a new era of NXT, which was then kind of just really moved forward by the 4 horsewomen at the time, but she was kind of I still remember that her match with Emma at NXT TakeOver Arrival. Um, kind of, uh, maintaining popularity despite not wrestling, and while she definitely is from time to time a bonehead, I will not, discount that she was incredibly popular and still is to this day, and still is one of the most followed people in WWE right now. Like, she is still one of there's value to Paige. Um, but after July 7th, man, listen, we gonna hear some shit. I'm just assuming we're gonna hear some shit.
Mhm.
Whether it's on her Twitch channel, whether it's on Talk Is Jericho, whether it's on the sessions, just prepare for the news cycle. Prepare for Tony Storm Part 2.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens every time. She's gonna pop up and then boom, she's gonna be back.
Hey,
We got to get to this because this is like breaking. It's literally happening as it's happening. Tony Khan's made a statement, so we should just go right to it. He just made a
let's talk
statement.
about it.
He just made a
Okay.
statement on Twitter a minute ago. So, Jeff Hardy was arrested for a DUI Monday morning. There's been a lot of, you know, a lot of stuff has come out about it. TMZ just dropped a video where it showed that the cops had actually pulled out a gun on him because they believed that he was reaching into a bag and they didn't know what the bag was and all of this stuff. He was bonded out of jail at 7:07 p.m. Later that day, $3,500 bond. The cop says during the stop that Jeff appeared to be in a stupor and was confused. They said when he got out of the car, he reeked of booze, and during the field sobriety test, they displayed multiple signs of being impaired. He said that they gave him a breathalyzer test and had readings of a .294 and a .291. The legal
Jesus Christ.
the legal limit in Florida is a .08. They also noted in the documents, which he was also arrested and charged for, was that his license was suspended following his 2 previous convictions for driving under the influence. They also noted that he had a driving restriction, which required him to have an interlock device in his vehicle, which they said it did not have. A lot more information had come out about this as well. The officer claimed that Hardy, he tried to get to the passenger side and Jeff was barely responsive. The officer had to bang on the window, and he claimed that he went to the driver's side and Hardy struggled to get into the car into park, which led to it rolling forward. There were no statements put out about this until just a couple of seconds ago. I'm going to read this now. I know you haven't seen it yet, Meelz,
I
but I
just
have a
saw
lot.
it now that you mentioned it.
Oh, but he says we were able to resume contact with Jeff Hardy this afternoon, which why weren't you able to do it yesterday? AEW does not condone Jeff's alleged behavior. If you looked at what I said on the Discord, if you're in the Discord, I literally said they need to denounce the actions of Jeff Hardy. Look at me, crisis comms master, Justin here. We've made it clear to Jeff that we'll assist him in getting the treatment for substance abuse issues, which he has indicated he's open to receiving. In the interim, he is suspended without pay, and he can only return to AEW upon successfully completing treatment and maintaining his sobriety.
Before we get into the thing that obviously we're going
Was
to
he
talk
not?
about,
Was he not offered the same deal?
well, before we get into that, because I knew exactly what I was going to say, I have no sympathy, tolerance, prayers, well wishes, and get some help for multiple offenders of DUIs. I have no sympathy. You can kill yourself and or other people on the road unsuspectingly. Fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? And I gave the same speech about everyone talking about the Jimmy Uso thing, which is, wild that he gets brought up during this entire ordeal because this is not Jimmy Uso.
Yeah.
But comparisons, internet. But I have no sympathy. This has been going on for far too long. We've been told that he's fine. He is clearly not. We've been told that he can compete. He can clearly not. So what do we do from here as a society, as people who want, obviously people who want the best for Jeff, but at the same time he keeps putting himself in these situations where it's like, come on, bro, a DUI, you driving under, the influence, what the fuck is wrong with you? I
And
got
if
no sympathy for that
if
shit,
you
bro.
looked at the video, it looked to be a very busy
Yeah,
highway.
yeah. Man said he was driving from North Carolina to North Carolina. I was like, okay, he's that nigga's gone. Resume your statement, sir.
I'm not sure about the suspension part. I feel as though that was the same deal that WWE tried to let him do, and they tried to get him to do, and he didn't want to get it done back in December when it looked like they clearly saw something that we as fans and as viewers did not see at the time, and that they tried to sweep under the rug. I'm not sure about the suspension part of it, because my thing is that I feel like with addiction and the stuff that he does, there has to be a trigger, and it always seems to happen whenever this guy is kind of the lights are on him, and it's like you want to bring him back to have the same lights on him to give him that same feel. Like he needs help that he cannot get by doing wrestling anymore. I legitimately, Meelz, have no will or want to see Jeff Hardy wrestle anymore after this. I don't want to see him wrestle anymore. What the fuck are we gonna what he's giving me the moments that I want to see, that I need to see. This is painful to watch. I saw the match at Double or Nothing. I saw the match with Darby Allin. This is painful to watch. He doesn't need to be out there. For him to be putting people at risk, this is bigger than wrestling at this point. He needs help, and he needs to take a break. This guy needs to get some real help and be away from the business.
Absolutely. I feel like I saw this great point on Twitter sometime yesterday. I forgot if it's Cameron Santo or something. But he says, like, yo, this man is in pain. You look at the matches he's been in, the ladder matches, the stuff that wasn't ladder matches that ended up being a ladder match anyway, and him being injured, and what he may use to cope through all these different being hurt might go to booze. I don't know. I don't want to make that assumption for him, but
they won't boo him. They won't boo him because everything that this company that he's in does is okay. It's normalized. They waited over 24 hours to say we just got into contact. You have to get. They are bad at crisis comms. They are bad at crisis communications. They need a real comms team in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is insane that they didn't make a statement before now. There's videos out, Meelz. There's statements out. There's him on the video saying he has to go to get his head checked out from a doctor. That morning he was driving. This is 3 days before he has a ladder match. Like, y'all should have said something. He shouldn't even booked in that match if y'all knew he had to go do that. Do y'all know he had to go do that?
Motherfucking sisters-in-law making funny TikToks. I'm like, bitch, this is not the time.
like we can't trust this guy to say anything. For months,
can't trust Matt Hardy to say anything at this point.
For months, he's been saying he's fine. It became immediately clear the day he showed up to AEW and he was dancing instead of doing a hot save for his brother, that nothing was okay with him. He's not fine. I come from a family of people who have abused alcohol and have paid for it. Mm-hmm. I don't want to see it in my real life. I don't want to see it on my TV. I think it's the same feeling I had when I would see Scott Hall and they would be talking about that shit on WCW. It's uncomfortable. It's not funny. It's not fun. Just a month ago, we saw this guy flip off of a fucking ladder into or what did he do? He flipped into the stairs. Did he do that on Double or Nothing?
He did that on Dynamite.
On Dynamite.
in a Owen Hart
invitation
qualifying match. No, it was a qualifying match. It was just to get in the tournament, and he was the only one who had to do it.
How did y'all allow that, bro? There's a lot of questions about the shit, and it just so happens that it's both Hardys that pose these questions for us. But it's like, at the end of the day, I don't agree with the suspension. I don't. Y'all need to let this guy go. You know why? Because if you say it's okay to come back, this is a battle that this guy's fighting. He will not win that battle there. We've seen it in Impact. We saw it in 2003 when he got let go. We saw it when he came back before. He does it every time, every company. Let him go. Stop being so horny to fucking get one up on another company. This is bigger than that. Why did Matt and Tony not talk to him or not know about this?
I don't know. I don't. I really don't. I honestly don't know.
What and this company never says anything about anything, right? It's like they never say anything when people get fired. Let's just call it what it is. When they get fired, they don't say anything when people get injured. They don't say anything when people have DUIs. This is the first time they've ever said anything. He barely said anything when Sammy Guevara was saying all that wild shit and they made him go to therapy or something like that, and then he came back. They don't say anything about anything. I've seen people say, well, they shouldn't. They're not publicly traded. Fuck does that mean? What does that mean?
What? Y'all hoes. Y'all know publicly traded. Y'all just saying words.
Don't say that to Warner Brothers Discovery, who they were told to stop promoting Jeff Hardy. So it's obviously someone knew something. Tony knew something.
I don't know. I don't understand how. I just don't understand. It's the lack of like you said, they need that crisis calm. They need a lot more than that. Like, and he's done this in every company. That's why it's like I can't have sympathy. I can't continue praying for Jeff, right? Like at some point, like you have to want it more for yourself than we want it for you ultimately at the end of the day. So do what you need to do to make it happen and show us real change. And I don't want to come back and 3 months later this nigga, he's like, I went through my thing, I'm back on Dynamite getting his standing ovation for the same shit, and then go back and do the same shit all over again.
It's weak. I think that they are trying to save face with this announcement. I even say that I think that it puts more, to me, context into what happened at that house show and what those people saw that night and why they chose to test him. Everyone said, well, they shouldn't have did it. I say, well, if you have a history of doing that shit to a company, you've been burned before, then yeah, they should. Because you did something that was wild, and whether he was or not, that's something that's the type of wild shit. He's a wild card, correct? Like that's more context into that. Meelz, they didn't even say, yo, Jeff, we gonna let you go. They said, Jeff, call it a career, bro. We'll put you in the Hall of Fame. And I thought that was odd they did that, and now I see why they did it. Because as soon as he got the AEW, he didn't look right. He didn't look right.
I feel like as much as WWE micromanages a lot of different things about the aspects of your life, it probably gave him structure and the distractions that he needed at the time. And he wasn't idle for too long. He was working in, various programs and stuff like that. He was set to work with Roman. I'm pretty sure he was going to work with Roman. So all that happening was wild to me. I mean, I got nothing left to say.
Yeah. Is there anything else?
2 Dimes.
Everybody getting let go. So 2 Dimes was released on a Sunday.
You gotta do something real bad to get released on a fucking Sunday.
The boy was zooted, but no real information given as to why he was let go, other than there was a policy issue. He went on Twitter and said mistakes were made and lessons were learned. And yeah.
I mean,
wait, well, here's my thing. Hold on. Why did it say alleged on the Tony Khan statement?
And the current Jeff's alleged behavior. Nigga, did he see the video? Oh,
that's wild.
I got nothing left to say.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Let me see if there's anything else that happened this week. You know what? Let's go to SmackDown. How about that? Let's go to SmackDown.
We've been talking a hell of a lot. Uh, I'll run it with no break. Let's do no break this week. We did a
Okay.
lot of talking. Let's keep it rolling. I like the flow we got this week.
Okay.
I like
All
this
right.
flow. I like this
All
flow.
right. We
Uh,
didn't write down anything, so yeah.
before we talk about SmackDown, what are your thoughts on what are your thoughts on Apollo Crews going back to NXT? I know we don't really get a chance to talk about NXT, but this is a big main roster person going over to NXT 2.0. How you feel about it?
I feel like his gimmick on the main roster was incredibly short-lived, and I think it should have been we should have experienced it a lot more. I don't think he needed to go back to NXT, to be honest with you.
What if he asked?
I don't care. Don't I would not I personally not to say like I feel like sometimes you go back to rediscover that love that you have for it or something along those lines, but I also feel like he was making such forward momentum with his own character development. There's nothing more he can learn from NXT. I don't think there's much that he can contribute to NXT. Um, I think he was fine in his gimmick on the main roster, and they needed to let that gimmick cook a little bit more. And I think just from people seeing, especially and first of all, everyone talks about the history of WWE racism. A strong African character on WWE television portraying as such, I thought was incredible. Yeah, the accent was fake. It's all fake. But niggas are actors. But I thought that was great, and I was looking forward to seeing it on Monday Night Raw and seeing what he got into on Monday Night Raw in that division, and we never got to see it. So he probably at this point was like, "Yo, just put me on NXT. Y'all niggas, I be in catering every week. Let me just chill in Florida for until further notice."
Well,
Um,
Here's my thing. I know that you have such a glass half empty look at this.
I don't I would rather have seen him continue his gimmick on Raw than go
it's,
back to NXT
it's
is
it's
my
very
thoughts on
glass
it.
half empty. It's very glass half empty in my opinion because in the
Well, glass
absence
half full it's half full too, nigga. Come on now.
of having real in ring guys there, and the possibility that some of those guys will be gone soon, probably pretty soon. I think it's good to bolster the roster with people who've been there that can get an immediate reaction. I look at it like this is a better version of the Ember Moon thing because I think Apollo is just a better look on that show. I feel like when Ember was there, the women's division didn't really need her that much. You know what I'm saying? Like they were already good. You know what I mean? Like look at the women's division when Ember went back and compare it to what the men's division looks like with NXT with Apollo Crews there. They have an actual guy who can have really good matches and teach people. And I think you need that there. Um, I like the way he came out. I would love to see him, like you said, I would love to see him get a character. He can't just be the Apollo Crews he was back in
Yeah.
2017.
I was like,
Um,
nigga, what? You just reverted back to the regular.
Yeah, exactly. I think that uh in the end it's gonna be it's gonna help everyone. I know how you feel about wanting him to have more of a chance there. That's not to say that's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? But you have people like Mandy Rose who proved to be a success story on that brand going back, and I feel like they're gonna want to start doing that more going forward. And I feel like again the synergy between the two brands is really it's the best it's ever been. So him coming back was a genuine surprise. Him succeeding will add more fuel to the fire that maybe we should be blending these shows a lot more and having these types of things matter.
I understand all that.
All
I
right,
don't
let's go to SmackDown.
yeah, I don't think his career trajectory changes by being in NXT.
No, I'm
But
not
prove
saying
me
it
wrong.
does. I'm not saying it does. I'm saying that it proves that you can go down there. You can be successful. You can go back up. We like the real test will be we'll see if Mandy Rose is able to go back and be a bigger star than she was when she was there before. But they have proven that you can take main roster guys down there and they can be a success and they can help people out and they can get heat. So
I
that's what
th
we're trying to see here.
All right, you know what? I'll leave it at that. I'll wait and see for sure.
SmackDown. I like SmackDown. I don't know. I didn't know where you. I didn't talk to you on Friday, but I like the show.
Let me see what happened on SmackDown. Yeah, you know what? It had a good vibe to it.
That's some good matches. What do you mean? Not just a good vibe.
It had a good vibe to it. Listen,
And
nah, it had some great matches.
they treated it like it was a big deal, and it came off as such. So that even if they have a depleted roster, it made it feel you didn't notice it on Friday.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Let's start off with Sheamus and Drew. Did we get a conclusion as to what's gonna happen here?
No, I don't know why they always do this. It's like, damn, like we can't just have one Drew and Sheamus match. It's always got to be 12 of these motherfuckers every fucking week.
Just put them both in. Like
Yeah.
that's gonna be the outcome, right? Just put them both in.
Listen, I'll talk to my man Adam Pearce and see what we could do.
Yeah,
See what we can do to stop us from another Drew McIntyre and Sheamus match.
I know y'all cool with each other and shit.
Not that it's bad, but like we about to see like 5 of these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And I don't want to. So Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus goes to double count out. They beating up each other. It's just, and then they're getting mad because they think Adam Pearce is taking one side. It was like, just put me in, and he's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. Relax. Yeah. So that's with that. But another qualifying match: Lacey Evans versus Xia Li. Or
Somebody had to lose. That's how I looked at that one.
Immovable Force versus the Unstoppable Object. Some type of shit like that.
Yeah, somebody had to lose that one. Sorry, Zia. It had to be you. I'm sorry. Somebody had to lose that one, bro. I like you a lot. I wasn't mad at it because the thing is that the depth is just so small on that show that it's
like damn, we've really seen NXT 2017 on this show now. We really reach here. That's what all I kept saying in my head.
Shout out to Paul, man. I mean, Shotzi, Raquel, who wasn't on the show this week. A lot of people, man. It was cool. Let's get to Shotzi and Ronda too, though. I'm hearing a lot of people really ragging on Ronda, and it was a bad promo. But I thought there was a part of the promo that I thought actually kind of endeared me to Ronda's character.
I feel like she wants to be tough, but also wants to be like
nice. She's like a mom, you know what I'm saying? She don't
it's not like a mom. It's like a nerd.
Be all tough. She gotta be all tough. Well, we know she's a nerd, and I think that being in the E allows her to actually like be that and not have to be the tough, not have to put that character on every day, right? And I thought when she said, "Do you want a title shot ski?"
And I'm like, bro, what?
I liked it.
Oh, you weird. All right.
I liked it. Meelz, you're weird. What are you talking about?
You're weird. You're weird. One ski? Come on, man.
You have a show about anime, bro. You're weird.
First of all, don't anime shame. We're not doing that, especially since you just dropped one that came out today too, my nigga.
You have an anime show, bro. You're weird. People will call you weird, bro.
You watch JoJo's The Bizarre Adventure, nigga. Come on now.
Did I say I wasn't weird? Exactly. Did anyone? Can someone rewind and say that?
I felt that was an attack on me.
No, it was the truth.
I felt like that was an attack on me by the way you phrased it and positioned it, my friend.
Let's just call that an attack on Titan. All right. So,
all right. You wanna let's do a little pod ski, a little podcast ski, huh?
Hey, you're on ski. I liked it.
Boo. First of all, it's
almost like yes, Sirski. Do you call people nerds for that? No, Sirski.
Well, they make it sound fire because they put on a beat under it and shit and all that.
That's bullshit. You're deflecting at that point. Like it was fine. I think that what people always bring up, kind of Ronda has like a speech deficiency and stuff like that. I think a lot of people don't know that. Yeah, it's actually kept her from like actually reading or talking or something until she was very, very late into her like her childhood. And people bring that. I think a lot of people don't know that. I'm not trying to use that as a crutch because I'm pretty sure she doesn't. But that might be a factor or whatever. But I feel like she cut promos in the way that is natural to her, and she used really big words. And sometimes they're really bad. Sometimes they work for me. But I thought that it felt like, because I felt like when she did the "you're on ski," like you could kind of see her and Shotzi kind of like they were about the corpse. Like both of them were about to laugh at how crazy that sounded. I don't know if that was given to her or whatever, but I felt as though that was a moment that endeared me to her. I thought it was a cute moment. But the match itself, people are so upset about this match, Meelz. They're very upset.
Shotzi kicked the shit out of Ronda.
They did. They were so upset because Shotzi was calling the match.
eh.
The
It's
heel.
SmackDown. Do you see what's going on in that women's roster?
Well, no, it's not that.
Somebody got to call the match.
It's not that, Meelz. But
Somebody got to call the match. Damn it.
usually the heel calls a match. Not saying that people have to know this, but it's like it doesn't mean Ronda sucks. She's gone on record saying that she usually lets her opponent kind of call the match and stuff like that. That's fine. I'm sure a lot of other wrestlers do that. I just wonder what people are expecting from these people. Like, what are these people? And it's mostly just internet people, but it's like, what are you expecting from these people at all? Like, do you not know all of the match? Let's like people want to know a lot of shit, but then act like stupid when they know a lot of shit. Like, y'all know how this shit works. I thought the match was fine. I think Ronda's
No,
good.
the match was fun. The match was fun.
I think Ronda's given a lot of these women a listen. A year ago, I would have never thought Shotzi and Ronda Rousey would have ever happened. Okay, much less on SmackDown. So, shout out to them for doing that. Shout out to Ronda for again using. There's very few people who are more giving than her, and as a top star, for her to take Shotzi's offense and sell like crazy for her was crazy. I liked it.
I agree. And apparently, they this is unrelated. They posted a vignette saying the Viking Raiders are coming to SmackDown. I was like, nigga, why did they leave?
They're rebranding them.
I guess so. All right. Good luck for them.
They're rebranding them. I know this is a tough thing to talk to you about.
I've been dreading it.
Ricochet versus Gunther. IC title match. Went about 8 minutes, I believe, with commercial. Gunther wins convincingly. They gave Ricochet a lot more than I thought.
Nah, Ricochet got a lot. He ain't look like a chump, which is what I was afraid of.
Which I guess shows how much respect they have for him, how much respect the two have for each other. And they've been doing this match on house shows all weekend as well. So I would imagine this would be the direction for Gunther. But what do you feel? What do you think? How do you feel about it?
I feel like I want to see more, but I don't know if we're gonna get more. And I feel like I don't know. I kind of wish Ricochet didn't like lose, not necessarily lose the title, not necessarily lose the match, but I kind of wish he didn't lose the title.
You're compromised.
I'm OD compromised, but I kind of wish that he didn't lose the title.
That's your boy, your man's.
But all right, so what are you doing? What are we doing with Gunther though?
What? He's in a feud with Ricochet.
Yeah, but like no, well, duh. If Ricochet still had the title, it'd still be in a feud with Gunther. But like, what are we doing with Gunther long term? Like, what's the plan long term with him? I feel like there's more fights for the Intercontinental Championship with Ricochet than there is with Gunther. Not necessarily. I don't think that Gunther should have not. Wow, I'm saying his name so many times as well. I don't think he should have not won it eventually. I don't think he should have won it right here.
Mm-hmm.
I think you build up to it.
I mean, they've been in each other's orbit for 2
Kind
months.
of, yeah. Not 2 months. Not 2 months.
Yes, they have.
Nah, not 2 months.
Yes, they have.
Gunther just came 2 months ago. Nigga. He just beat up Drew Gulak a month ago
with Ricochet. You know, I'm not gonna have the Ricochet conversation with you. As y'all can see, Meelz is a
Don't
little.
do that. Don't 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 do that because
a fair conversation about this because now you're saying Gunther he's directionless.
I'm not saying. I'm saying. So here's what I'm saying. I feel like you could have got a lot more out of this than you did.
Well, you don't know what you're going to get out of it at this point.
This is true. But I feel like you could have got built up a lot more to this. I echo this to remember Shayna Baszler and Ember Moon. how Ember somehow won that first match and then got absolutely crushed the second match?
You knew,
I
Meelz.
didn't know. No, no, no.
You knew damn
Shayna
well.
was kicking
You
fucking
knew,
ass,
I'm
nigga.
not talking about Shayna. You knew damn well Gunther. This is main roster here. You knew damn well he was not losing this match. Are you
No, I mean,
serious?
I'm not saying that they should formulate the ideas of this. I'm saying I think, especially if your roster is not bolstered by a lot of stars, you shouldn't immediately just
Is
power bomb one.
Ricochet a star?
Yes. What are you talking? Yes, bro.
Is he?
On SmackDown, yes.
Is Ricochet a star?
On SmackDown, Ricochet is a star. He still
I
gets
asked,
crazy reactions on
I
the
asked,
show.
I asked the listeners, is Ricochet a
Bullshit. All
I
right.
asked the people who listen to this, is he like a star that would be where Gunther's going from where we see like Ricochet will probably not reach that height. Let me just be clear. Let me just
I
be
mean,
real.
I think everything new is shiny because I think
It is just
when Ricochet debuted, he was probably in the same place as Gunther, to be
he
honest
won't
with you.
squash the niggas. No, he wasn't. Come on.
But he was winning, he was winning championship matches and winning big matches and stuff like that.
In the main roster?
Yeah, he almost won King of the Ring. He won the Intercontinental Championship. He beat AJ. He did various different things.
Then what happened after he beat AJ one time?
Well, listen,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it's AJ Styles, baby.
Uh-huh,
Come
uh-huh,
on.
uh-huh,
But this is Gunther. You know what I'm saying?
I don't see the levels don't match.
I'm saying Gunther is new.
Ricochet can be a star. Gunther's a superstar, and
What?
Ricochet he needs
Bro, Gunther is new. I just want to hear you say he is
new.
new. He
He's
is
not
fresh.
new,
He is new. Listen, he is new
bro.
on the main
You
roster,
are,
bro.
yo,
He's new on the main roster. What are you talking about? You're not gonna compare NXT 2.0 to the fucking main roster.
compromised. I hope that
I'm not compromised.
listen. I hope he sends you an All Might figure or something because this
First
is
of all,
crazy. This is. I don't see no one even complaining to this level about Gunther winning that
because
match.
everyone just fucking accepts it. And I'm a fan of Ricochet. What do you want me to do? Not complain in my face?
Ricochet to me has reached his ceiling.
I don't think so, but he's probably reached his ceiling from the ceiling that they probably allowed. Yeah.
Oh my god!
Like, I agree.
Y'all see this?
I agree. Do I think he could be a big star? Yeah.
I can't.
Do I think?
With that,
Do
he
I
can't
think?
talk, and he's not big, and he's not imposing. He
I
can't
don't.
talk. I listened to Cornette about this, and I know it's crazy that I listened to Cornette about this.
Sure, and you're about to quote him and take all of his advice and say all kinds of cool shit about him.
Cornette, and I posed this question because he said that the match went. He felt as though, here's one thing I disagree. He felt that Ricochet got too much, but he said that he felt that when it got to a point where he felt as though Ricochet was getting too much, the match ended. Which I felt, okay, you don't want Ricochet to look like a chump because they're probably going to run it back a couple times, which is fair because the thing is Ricochet was a fighting champion. He wasn't just a bump on a log. He was a babyface, which I feel like that's why he got a lot because they're going to go back to this and they're going to, this isn't over between those two until something opens up.
Sure.
But he said that there are guys like Gunther who are going to, obviously, that they have the look, they have everything they need. He's got the new music, he's got everything that they're promoting, and then you have guys like Ricochet who are great guys in the ring. But then there are great guys in the ring, and then there's guys that are going to transcend that. Basically, is what he was saying. And I had to listen to that, and I said, "Now you're painting me as someone who doesn't support Ricochet." 9 out of 10 times.
I ain't paying nothing. You the one accusing me of being compromised, nigga. I ain't say none of that shit.
You are.
I ain't say no mean things to you or nothing. You said all the mean stuff.
9 times out of 10, I literally just said on the show, we would vote for Ricochet to win Money in the Banks. We'd vote for him to win all types of things. We would root for him. But I said, damn, I'm wilding. Is Ricochet, has he reached his ceiling here? If
you say ceiling, what do you mean? What do you say ceiling? What do you mean?
IC title is a ceiling. IC title is a ceiling.
Yeah, I would say so.
Until he gets a look like Finn got in Judgment Day, IC title is a ceiling to me.
I agree. I think
for people who have a ceiling, and you know this, and I know this, Gunther, if he's doing everything that he's doing right now, he's doing it right. He's got that look and he's got that presentation down. You know he will not have that title very long, and you know damn well that he is being positioned as something and someone who is getting more than that. Let's just be honest here right now.
So I want you to. I want to.
You believe Gunther? You believe Gunther is going to
shut up for a second. Shut up for a
Why
second.
don't tell me to shut up?
I want to say I don't.
I'm not shutting up now. You told me to shut up. I'm just saying. Admit.
I want to say that I never thought that Ricochet was going to win this match.
I'm just saying. Admit that Gunther's is going further than this title, and Ricochet will not probably be going further than this title.
I will say it remains to be seen.
See,
but no. I agree with you on the Ricochet part. I'm not sure about the Gunther part yet. I'm not sure because first of all, can I speak my piece now?
No, shut up.
Can I speak? No. Can I speak? First of all, I'll let you speak after saying shut up. By the way,
you didn't.
Yes, I did, and you just said everything you needed to say. Let me.
Yo, this is crazy.
Let me. No. Shut up.
Your co-host.
Shut up.
You can make that happen.
I think Gunther. We have a small sample size with him on the main roster. You know the main roster is different than it is on NXT. It's clearly different. So I think we still have to learn and go through the experience of like, okay, where's the trajectory truly for this guy? And it's going to come after he loses. You know what I'm saying? Rusev had I'm not saying it's the same, but he also had the experience and he also had the package.
One of your guys.
Bro, shut up.
Your guys.
Let me finish.
Another one of your guys.
He had the experience and the package and all the other stuff, and it built up to this moment. And it built up to this moment that he eventually had. Then he lost, and then it kind of peeled back a bit. So So it's remained to be seen. Ricochet, I believe, is lacking the.
He can't talk.
I think he's lacking the experience of it all. I think there's no experience when it comes to Ricochet when you see him on TV and when you think the experience is the high flying and you know it's athleticism, but it isn't something that is tangible that people can reach out to and say, this is truly the reason why I relate to him as a character, or I see myself within him as a character, or I see myself through him as a character. There isn't any of that yet. So his ceiling will be the IC championship because he's a good, solid worker and he gets a great ovation from the crowd.
And he can't talk.
He can't eat.
Just say it. Is he listening? Is he listening?
I refuse to say that he can't talk. I just don't think he's as good of a talker as others.
This is Stephen A. Smith level of compromise here. Jesus Christ.
Riddle and Sami Zayn had a banger of a main event with a lot of stakes on the line to close out Friday Night SmackDown, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. What say you, good sir?
Remember this episode number, okay? Remember this episode number.
Shit.
Remember this conversation. Because y'all know the truth. Y'all know the truth.
Because what?
I know the truth.
What's the truth?
I'm not saying that. You told me that.
You say the truth. You say the truth. You say the truth. You say, I want to hear the truth. I know what line we standing on and what line we're drawing it at.
I said something so nice to you at the beginning of this show an hour ago. And you told me to shut up, and you damn near told me to shut the fuck up too.
I didn't tell you shut the fuck up at all. I'm not that disrespectful. I'm not.
Y'all ain't hear that when y'all hear this episode on Patreon, and y'all heard him say. Then he said,
"There's a difference between me saying shut the fuck up and me saying shut up." How was Riddle and Sami Zayn for you?
Banger.
That's great.
Banger.
And I like that Riddle got to beat up the Usos too.
I think that Riddle is my wrestler of the year. Or one of them. It's either Seth or Riddle. I think Riddle just works more. And that's why I would probably give him the rub. I think I said it on Twitter the other day. Someone said Seth. Someone said, well, Riddle has a larger pool, but it's just like it's more varied. I mean, obviously Seth's only been wrestling Cody all year, but but the matches with Cody have weighed a lot more. You know what I'm saying? He has a 5-star match with Cody at this point. So,
And he has a
um,
great match with Roman too. And
yeah,
the
it's a great
great
match with Roman.
series leading up to WrestleMania with KO and AJ and all these
Yeah,
other he wrestled.
yeah, he wrestled, but I mean, Riddle's just weekly. Sometimes Seth don't even wrestle. You know what I'm saying? You got to
Seth
preserve.
don't need to.
You got to preserve your stars. So, I thought it was great. It led to, it leads us to Raw, which we find out, Riddle's getting a title shot against Roman on Friday, which is a big SmackDown. They are positioning this as pay-per-view level, and they should. Roman Reigns is coming back for the first time in 23, 25 days.
Fox told him, "You better start putting some bangers on this shit,"
Hey man,
because
I ain't mad at the PTO.
I'm
People,
mad at it neither.
like, well, was it a
Listen,
mistake to give him the belt, both belts? No, no, it wasn't. Like, looking back at it, the publicity that they got, the visuals that they got, are bigger than what y'all are thinking of in the short term. In the long term, him winning at WrestleMania 38 is going to always be remembered because he won both belts, and the visual of that is all that matters to them at this point.
I hope Minneapolis sells out because you won't even get to see Roman Reigns at Money in the Bank. So the fact that he's appearing on a SmackDown defending his championship against Riddle, oh, that's my CTV. Now
Mhm.
the rest of Raw, I don't know what the fuck that shit was.
Yeah, not really much to talk about on Raw this week. Not gonna lie to you guys.
Elias is coming back next week. How do you feel about that? What I'm my intrigue for next week Monday Night Raw is to see what they do with Elias and Ezekiel.
It should be funny. I feel like in some way Kevin Owens has his hand in this somehow. He's given Ezekiel a lot, a lot. You could tell he
Mhm.
likes the guy. The stairs, bumps, just the crazy bumps he was doing in that match. But like, come on, bro. So Elias is coming back next week. We have some qualifier matches. One of them was Dewdrop and Nikki ASH versus Alexa and Liv. I feel as though
That wasn't
one
fair.
well, I feel as though one of them are going to make weasel their way in. I would hope, because just looking at the amount of people they have going for it, but it seems like
Mhm.
they're setting up Becky and Asuka to do something next week, so they're going to have a qualifier next week. Who do you think? I think you continue Becky's downward spiral and have her lose next week. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Where's this downward spiral end up? Like Asuka? I guess it's Asuka, right?
Wait. What do you mean?
Like, so she continues to descend into madness.
Yeah,
Um, so she like facing Asuka and Money in the Bank or something?
yeah. She's facing Asuka at the qualifiers next week on Raw.
Oh, right.
There's a
Okay.
qualifier on Raw next week. Yeah.
All right. I'm
So
here
running it
with
back, running it back. I mean, I'll never complain about these two, but they're running it back next week. I say have Oscar win. I'm pretty sure she's gonna win because she got to get her win back from losing to Bianca 2 weeks ago, I believe, and have Oscar go into the Money in the Bank. I mean, she's won it before. You want to have somebody that's won it before. Becky has to go deeper into her bag of insanity. I would love to know where this leads to. I think the coolest way for this to end is for her to be like she's lost everything, and for her to go back to Ronda and fuck with Ronda, because that's what we really want to see. And I think that's a really cool way to go about it. I just don't know how you would get there with the way that the rosters are set up. But
mm.
I'm interested in seeing where this goes for Becky. I think people are getting very like people want character work until they get character work. So it's just like they want Becky to be undefeated. They don't want her to be undefeated, but they don't want her to lose, and they don't want her to. You know what I'm saying? It's like I see the long term of what's going on here, and she's been kind of trending towards this since before Mania, and people aren't really catching on to it. And I think that's just really a shame. I feel like she's made it very clear that she's like going crazy.
I agree, especially by facing and losing to Dana Brooke. So
I didn't care about that one as much as most people did.
well, I think it's it accents the descent into madness. It's
Yeah.
like, damn, she even losing to Dana Brooke.
Someone
Um,
has to do it. Like, at the end of the day, she cannot keep beating everyone. So do you have her?
nah,
Do you have her go off TV? She can't beat Bianca. She's already given her the rub. So
hey
like,
man,
what do you want her to do?
she could pull a Sasha and
Oh,
jump off
Jesus
TV.
Christ! Let me clip this and put it on Twitter and tag you in it so that
No,
they can
don't
call
do
you
that.
anti-black.
Oh God. It's a joke. Uh, what else happened on Raw?
We had a Street Profit really long Montez and Uso match that I don't
Oh
feel as though
yeah.
did any
I was like,
favors.
how did this kick off Raw?
It
I'm
kicked off
like,
Raw. It was really long.
I
They
think
really
they just gave up. They were just like, it's game 5. Like, fuck out of here.
it's game 5, and they saw the damn the amount of people that were going. That's my theory, is that they saw the attendance for people that were going to be there, and they said, you know what, we'll try again next week. We got a better house. We got a better, like, they squashed Ali again. I'm like, yo, y'all really don't got nothing to
See,
do.
yeah, I was like, bruh, come on now. Why y'all brought this nigga back to do? Not necessarily. You don't
Yeah,
need always a direction for everybody, always. But like, y'all pretty much begged and plead this man. He was
they
on
didn't.
main event last week and he got beat up this week.
They didn't. Who begged and pleaded? They ain't begged and pleaded. They said, nigga, come out to work.
Niggas is like, I
You
want
don't.
my release, and they were like, no.
You better
I guess
deal with
that's
it.
it, huh?
Deal with it.
What else happened?
Judgment Day had a promo
Oh
with
yeah,
Bianca in the ring.
what a what in my opinion. All right, in my opinion, what a non-worthwhile way to follow up on a big angle last week. I love Bianca. I feel like Judgment Day should have had a separate thing either before they engage with Bianca, just kind of like showing the new visual of themselves in the ring. But they also might have said like, "Yo, fuck this crowd. We do this shit next week."
Yeah. Well, Rhea did knock one of her teeth out, or one of her teeth got knocked loose.
Ooh,
So
yeah, that's true.
she couldn't get very physical this week. I think they
Oh,
might be
sure.
they
Yeah.
might be still reworking stuff. Well, I mean, you saw the retainer in her mouth. I'm pretty sure that the doctor said none of that shit. Like, don't even try us. That shit looked gnarly. What happened to her teeth last week? But I think that might have had something to do with it. I don't know. I didn't think it was strong either. It seems like they're still carrying on this Edge thing because they brought him up in a promo that had Bianca in the ring. But seems like AJ is completely done with them too. I don't know what's going on there. It just seems like they're the Cody thing and then the Edge thing back to back, right? Meelz is just sort of like, yo, we got a lot of rewriting to do and not a lot of time to do it. And I believe Bruce Pritchard isn't even on the road with him too because he had to go get surgery, I believe. So I think
Is he? I feel like he still pitched that fucking pose off before that nigga left.
the pose off
I
was
feel like it's
one.
a Bruce Pritchard thing. That's definitely a Bruce Pritchard thing, right?
Bro, they was going to a different audience. Can we talk about it? Like, that audience, that was for my gays, man. Shout out to y'all, man. That was for y'all. Because I was like, yo, if y'all wanted to get somebody into wrestling, that's how you do it right there. It's for the women, for the gays, man, for real.
I feel like the crowd was on its hands and it was like, "What the fuck were you watching?"
Because it was in the wrong city to do it. You doing it in a different city. They tapped in. They really tapped in because Austin Theory kind of got that look. He kind of looks like he could, you know what I mean? Know what
I
I
don't know
mean?
what you mean. I don't know what you mean, bro.
Hey, Austin Theory, listen, man. You got to know that you probably you got a big fan base
You saying
in the
he an
in,
icon?
in the community.
Mm.
You feel me? In the community, fuck with him. I can tell he's somebody in the community fuck. Then you have Bobby all wet and watery. I'm like, bro, this is for the women's and the gays, man. I say shout out to them. They watch the show too.
God bless.
They watch the show too. I mean, I thought it was a terrible segment, but it won't for me.
Yeah, I didn't watch it because the game was the game was still on. It was getting really good.
It was off by then.
Nah,
Yes, it
game
was.
wasn't off by then. Nah,
Yes, it was.
no.
Oh, wait a minute. The game was over for us by then. Sorry.
Yeah, game was over for y'all.
Yeah, it
With
was over
y'all
for us.
early ass games.
Sorry, bud. Sorry, we live in the best coast. Live in the best coast over
What
here.
do
But
y'all
yeah,
do? What do y'all do when it's like 12 o'clock and no one else is up?
usually like Cyrus and Mark are up.
That's all right. Well, God bless him.
Yeah. What else happened on Raw? I think that was it.
That's it. That's all I care to talk about. I don't give a damn.
Oh, we didn't talk about the stipulation. So Riddle, if he doesn't win on Friday, he can't challenge for the WWE Okay, the undisputed WWE Heavyweight Championship. That's what it is. He can't wrestle for it anymore after that if
That's
he loses.
fine. I feel like the match is gonna be a banger.
Uh-huh. They pushed it as such. I've always said this. You have me on record saying this. That Riddle, get ready. they've been preparing. They played the long game with him in a way that I feel like they have done with no other superstar before.
Mhm.
They played the real long game with him. He take a lot of pinfalls for a year, but they've always kept them looking strong against certain people. He's always got moments. He's always been around. He's been on TV every single week. I think he's had more matches than anyone this year. And Quan or Novak will have to correct me on that, but he's the hardest worker there and one of the most pushed guys there. And if he's not going to get that title, he's going to be getting another one very soon. So that should be really good. And it's an indictment of how much they trust this guy and how much his fortunes have changed, right? From 2021 to 2020 to now, where no one would even look at him on the top level. That's from Brock to Roman to Seth to now they're all working with him. So this is his biggest test on Friday.
I think he's gonna be able to pull it off in spades. So I have no worries about Matt Riddle unless he does something stupid.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, him having questionable sexual activities with his boy is
Oh,
not one of them.
sorry, he's not gonna get banned for having trizzies.
Running a mission. Yeah, I think that's it for this week. This Thursday,
It's Thursday.
5:30 for me, right?
5:30 for you, 8:30 for me, 8:30 for the I was about to say 8:30 for the rest of the world. 8:30 for the East Coast, 5:30 p.m. for the West Coast
Mm-hmm.
is the Black Pod Connect. For the first time ever, the A Show, Black Wrestling, and Black Announce Table in the same room at the same damn time. It'll be live on YouTube. We are not jumping into a Twitter space. I am sorry for all of you
Mm-hmm.
who love yourself a good Twitter space. You could be there for hours. We're taking this thing to YouTube, Black Wrestling's YouTube. So make sure you subscribe there, and we will be there pretty soon. And make sure you guys continue to donate to the fundraiser, the Wrestling Club's Road to WrestleMania. We got it in the bio of this. We can find it on my Twitter at Meelz TV. You can find it at Justin's Twitter, OG Johnny 5. You can find it on the A Show's Twitter at the A Show RNC. And also you can follow Victor at Wallflower Perry. You can also follow Black Wrestling at Black Wrestling on Twitter. And you can follow Black Announce Table at Black Announce Table on Twitter and also on Instagram and
You
everywhere else.
sound like
So
Excalibur, and you only have 1 minute to go until WB cuts the lights.
make sure you guys continue to donate to this. Let's get these kids to WrestleMania. Let's get them lodged up nice. Let's get them, have the experience of their lives, going to WrestleMania. So, yeah.
All right, y'all. We'll see you next week. Make sure you tune in on Thursday, and we'll be back on the A Show. Peace out.